Right now, somewhere in the back of your mind, something is bothering you. Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's money, maybe it's a situation at work or something someone said or a future you're not sure you're building fast enough. And here's the thing, you've probably been thinking about it for days, turning it over, replaying it, trying to find some angle that makes it feel okay. What if I told you that almost all of that mental pain, the anxiety, the restlessness, the feeling that things aren't right, comes from a single mistake, not a character flaw, not bad luck, one mistake? And what if there was an idea, developed over 2,000 years ago, by a man who had every reason to fall apart, that corrects that mistake almost immediately? That idea has a name. The Stoics called it the dichotomy of control. And by the time this video ends, you will never look at your problems the same way again. The source. Before we get into the idea itself, you need to know where it came from, because the source matters. Epictetus was born around 50 AD in the city of Hierapolis, in what is now modern Turkey. He was born a slave, not metaphorically, literally owned by another human being. He had no freedom of movement, no legal rights, no say in what happened to his own body. His master at one point, a cruel man named Epaphroditus, decided to test him. He began twisting Epictetus's leg. Epictetus calmly said, "You are going to break it." The twisting continued. The leg broke. Epictetus looked at him and said, "Did I not tell you that you would break it?" No panic, no rage, no begging. Why? Not because he felt nothing, but because Epictetus had already decided, at a deep, philosophical level, that his body was not his. His leg was not his. His freedom of movement was not his. What was his, what no master, no emperor, no force on earth could ever touch, was his mind, his judgments, his responses, his inner life, that distinction, that single line between what belongs to you and what doesn't. That is the dichotomy of control. The two categories. Here is the idea in its simplest form. Epictetus wrote it in a book called the Enchiridion, which means handbook, and he opened with this: "Some things are in our control, and others are not." That's it. That's the whole thing. But the implications of taking that seriously are enormous. What is in your control? Your thoughts, your beliefs, your effort, your attitude, your values, the way you choose to respond to what happens to you. These things, and only these things, are truly yours. What is not in your control, your reputation, other people's opinions, your body's health, the outcome of your work, whether someone loves you back, whether the economy cooperates, whether the meeting goes well, whether they reply to your message. Now here's the uncomfortable part. Most people, and I mean most, including you right now, including me, spend the majority of their mental energy on the second list. We obsess over what people think of us. We catastrophize about outcomes we can't determine. We refresh feeds looking for signals of approval. We lose sleep over scenarios that may never come. And every hour spent trying to control what isn't yours is an hour stolen from what is. Why we get this wrong? This isn't stupidity. This is biology. The human brain evolved in an environment where controlling outcomes was survival. If you couldn't predict and manage threats, predators, weather, rival tribes, you died. So our brains became obsession machines, highly tuned to scan for danger, highly motivated to feel in control. The problem is that the modern world has completely changed the nature of threats, but our brain hasn't caught up. So we treat unanswered messages like predators. We treat social rejection like physical danger. We treat uncertainty about the future like an immediate emergency. The Stoics called this living in opposition to nature, and they said it was the root cause of nearly all human suffering. Not the bad things that happen to us, but our insistence on trying to control things that were never ours to control. Think about the last time you were genuinely, deeply anxious. What was at the center of it? Almost certainly, an outcome you couldn't guarantee, a person whose feelings you couldn't determine, a future you couldn't secure, all outside your control, all being treated as if they were inside it. The practice. So what do the Stoics actually tell you to do? Because this isn't just a theory. It's a practice, and it's a simple one. Epictetus taught his students to ask one question before any situation that caused them stress or anxiety. Is this in my control? If the answer is yes, give it everything. Your full focus, your full effort, your full presence. If the answer is no, release it completely. Not suppress it, not pretend it doesn't exist. Release it, because your energy spent there is borrowed from somewhere it actually belongs. Marcus Aurelius did this every single morning. He would sit alone before the demands of empire began and write. And again in those private journals, he returns to the same idea. You have power of your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. He wasn't writing this for an audience. He wasn't performing stoicism. He was reminding himself, the most powerful man on earth, that his power had limits, and that accepting those limits was the source of his real strength. This is the practice. Build the habit of categorizing before you react, before the meeting, before the difficult conversation, before you hit send. Ask the question, is this mine? If not, set it down. Modern scenarios, plus 3 tools. Let's make this concrete. Because philosophy that doesn't change your Monday morning is just entertainment. Situation 1. You didn't get the job. The hiring decision, not yours. The interviewer's impression, not yours. What is yours? The quality of your preparation, your honesty in the interview, your response to rejection, what you do with the feedback, where you apply next. Situation 2. Someone you care about is pulling away. Their feelings, not yours. Their choices, not yours. What is yours? How you show up, what you communicate, whether you give them space or crowd them, how you treat yourself through the uncertainty. Situation 3. Your life feels behind where it should be. Other people's timelines, not yours. Social comparison, not yours. What is yours? The effort you put in today, the direction you're moving, the standard you hold yourself to privately. 3 things to start this week. 1. The 2 column. Exercise. Take whatever is stressing you most right now. Draw a line down a page. Left, what's mine. Right, what isn't. Just naming it creates distance from it. 2. The pre-moment reset. Before any situation that triggers anxiety, say this quietly. I control my effort and my response. I do not control the outcome. It sounds almost too simple. Do it anyway. 3. Catch the spiral. The moment you notice yourself obsessing over something, a message, an opinion, a result, ask, is this in my control? If not, say out loud, this is not mine to carry, then redirect. Every time you do this, you are training the same mental muscle Epictetus spent a lifetime developing. Finally, Epictetus spent years as a slave with no freedom, no possessions, no certainty about tomorrow, and he became one of the freest men who ever lived, because he understood completely where his freedom actually lived, not in the world, in himself. Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens. That's the whole philosophy. That's the dichotomy of control. And if you take nothing else from this video, take that line. Write it somewhere you'll see it. Let it interrupt you the next time you're spiraling over something you were never going to control anyway. If this gave you something useful, subscribe. This channel exists to take the most powerful ideas from Stoic philosophy and make them usable, not as abstract theory, but as tools for the actual life you're living right now. The next video goes even deeper. I'll see you there.